Hello and welcome to S24 Rundown. I am Zainab Ibrahim and here's our news in brief. Now the news in details. To start with, the Christian Association of Nigeria has declared a 3-day mourning period from June 12 to June 14, 2026, in response to the worsening insecurity across Nigeria. The decision was reached at its National Denominational Leaders Summit in Abuja, where church leaders expressed deep concern over the increasing cases of killings, kidnappings, terrorist attack, and the destruction of communities. Khan also designated June 14 as Black Sunday in churches nationwide to honor victims of violence and show solidarity with affected families. Still ahead of June 12, President Bola Tinubu is scheduled to address a joint session of the National Assembly on June 12 as part of activities marking Nigeria's 2026 Democracy Day celebration. The event is one of the several programs approved by the federal government and coordinated by an interministerial committee established to oversee the nationwide commemoration. Other planned activities include a word press conference, special Jumat prayers, an interdenominational church service, a public lecture, youth and women focused programs, a presidential broadcast, and a Democracy Day gala night. Now, commercial tricycle operators have pledged to work more closely with the police and other security agencies to curb the growing menace of one-chance robberies. The operators said criminal elements posing as tricycle riders have tarnished the image of legitimate transport workers and threatened public safety. As part of the collaboration promised to help identify suspicious operators, share intelligence with security agencies, and support efforts in protecting commuters from robbery attacks. Now, on health, Borno State have recorded 274 new suspected cholera cases within 24 hours, raising the total number of reported infections to 4,204 across affected local government areas. Health authorities also confirmed that 39 people since the outbreak began. According to the incident manager of the Public Health Emergency Operations Center, Dr. Jacob Tilza, the new cases were reported across 36 wards, with Maiduguri Metropolitan Council, Jere, and Konduga among the worst hit areas. In response to the outbreak, the Borno State government has intensified containment measures, including activating emergency response system, conducting public awareness campaigns, and supplying treatment centers with essential drugs and medical consumables. The Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASOP, Federal Polytechnic Ngodo Isochu chapter in Abia State, has issued a 21-day ultimatum to the institution's management over alleged neglect of staff welfare and failure to meet statutory obligations. In a letter addressed to the rector, Dr. P.D. Indubusi, the union said repeated effort through dialogue and official correspondence have failed to produce results, creating tension and eroding trust within the institution. ASOP wondered if the issues remain unresolved after the ultimatum expires, it will result to lawful trade union actions, including a possible strike. The union highlighted several grievances, including the non-enrollment of staff in the National Housing Fund and National Health Insurance schemes, alleged diversion of funds approved for a borehole project, shortages of essential drugs at the institution health center, and the non-remittance of deducted unit check-off dues since February 2026. Finally, on the internationals, Kuwait suspended all commercial flight operations after an Iranian missile and drone attack struck Kuwait International Airport, damaging part of the facility and injuring several people. According to Kuwaiti authorities, the strike hit Terminal 1, prompting aviation officials to halt flights and divert aircraft as emergency teams assess the extent of the damage and work to secure the airports. Now moving on to our next segment with Hadiza Galadima. Let's have the business news.
Thank you, Zainab. Welcome to your business update on S24 Rundown. I am Hadiza Galadima, and here are the top stories making headlines across major sectors. Starting off, Nigeria's oil sector is receiving a boost as crude prices continue to rise following renewed tensions in the Middle East. Brent crude is trading near the $100 mark, a development analysts say could improve Nigeria's foreign exchange earnings and strengthen government revenues. And the Nigerian equities market closed mixed as investors rotated funds across banking and industrial stocks. Financial stocks continue to drive market activities, with the banking sector maintaining strong investors' interest. And now let's take a look at the activities on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Among the top price gainers is International Energy Insurance, which appreciated by 9.86% to close at 5 naira 46 kobo, while Nationwide Express gained 7.14%, ending the session at 5 naira 10 kobo. And Nymet International Pharmaceuticals rose by 6.8% to close at 11 naira. Living Trust Mortgage Bank added 5% to settle at 4 naira 20 kobo, and Abbey Mortgage Bank advanced by 4.44% to 7 naira 5 kobo. Fidelity Bank also recorded gains, raising 3.95% to close at 21 naira 5 kobo. And on the losers chart, PZ Cousins Nigeria and Computer Warehouse Group both shared 10% to close at 88 naira 20 kobo and 21 naira 60 kobo respectively. ABC Transport declined by 9.95% to 6 naira 88 kobo, while Wema Bank lost 9.09% to close at 30 naira. Sovereign Trust Insurance also retreated by 8.16%, ending the day at 2 naira 7 kobo. And in terms of market activities, Access Holdings recorded the highest volume with more than 84 million shares exchanged, while Zenith Bank emerged as the most valuable stock traded during the session, with transactions worth approximately 3.5 billion naira. Analysts say positive sentiment continued to support activities on the Nigerian exchange despite recent profit taking. Investors are maintaining confidence in the market as gainers continue to outpace losers in several trading sessions. And globally, technology giants Google parent company, which is Alphabet, has announced plans for an $80 billion share sales aimed at expanding the artificial intelligence infrastructure. The move underscores the growing race among major technology companies to dominate the rapidly evolving AI landscape. And lastly, in the commodities market, investors are increasingly turning to safe haven assets amid lingering geopolitical tensions and inflation concerns. Gold continues to attract strong demand, with recent reports showing that the precious metal has overtaken U.S. Treasury securities as the world's largest reserve asset held by central banks. Market watchers say uncertainty in the global economy is likely to keep demand for gold elevated. That's a wrap on today's edition of S24 Business Update. Do remember, in the middle of difficulties lies opportunities, and that is from Albert Einstein. Stay with us. After the break is our newspaper review with Zainab and Abubakar. Do have a productive day and be blessed.
Welcome back from that break, and thank you so much, Hadiza Galadima, for the business news. Now, it's Shukra Oniye, not Abubakar Turaki. Welcome to the studio, Shukra Oniye.
Thank you, Zainab. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
So, we'll be doing the newspaper review. with you, and we'll be starting with the Daily Sun front page. Here it says protest spread in Lagos, Oyo, Ogun, Rivers, and Abuja. Let me hear a comment from you before moving.
First and first, our hearts goes out to all those communities that have been affected by kidnappings, especially the recent one in Oyo and Borno. It's a really tragic event that the government have to put effort and look into, because a community or a nation whose education system has collapsed by security has no future.
Exactly.
The children are supposed to be the future of the nation, but they fear to go to school every day. They are being kidnapped. In the kidnappers, then there are all sort of things being done to them. We don't know them. We can't see them. Their parents can't sleep. Other parents can't take their children to school. They are calling for the shutdown of all schools in the nation because of insecurity. Recently, I came across a video in Ondo State where they said the bandits were coming. The children came across the police vehicle and they were yelling. They ran out of schools.
The thing is, you're not even certain if the
bandits are actually coming or not,
or if the police are actually going to save, because we have a lot of bandits now that are putting on our security uniform. So this is, you don't even know what to trust. Yes.
The police van can only take so little. They can't take everybody. You can't even protect everybody. They don't even have enough equipment to protect the school and the people.
So, it's actually commendable that they are going for protest, but we know protest is actually an old style of communicating with the government. Yes. Do you think this is actually working? So far, what has actually been done, to curb or to ease the tension of this insecurity? Because it seems like we wake up every day to new news of kidnapping.
Zena, wait. Let me stop you there. These children have been kidnapped for over 2 weeks. Over 2 weeks. Not a single one of them has been found. And yet, we are hearing, they are on newspaper headlines. People are reposting. There's hashtag. There are a lot of things that are being done by the citizens, the little they can do. But they can only do so little if the government's actually not taking the right step towards them being found. We've not had anything from the nationals. We've not had anything from the military. We've now found out of 42 people 42 students and teachers that have been kidnapped in Oyo, and these people are releasing live streams every day. You can't track. Are you telling me they can't track their live streams to bring up even one of those students?
Don't you think this is actually a priority?
It should be a priority, but don't
you think the federal government have a different priority, and this is why the action that should be taken have not been taken yet?
This is it's as clear as day. It's as clear as the sun coming out in the morning.
It's actually unfortunate because Shukra, some people will still mention that the federal government have actually done something, deploying 1,000 guards, then putting on their commendable statement on Twitter.
Do the Rangers have? Do the Rangers have enough arms to tackle those people? The only thing the government care about as of now is the 2027 election. Recently, they care about politics over governance. You're supposed to govern your people, but all you care about is you coming back in. And you want us to put you back in when you can't bring back just 42 children, when you can't bring back the children in Borno. You can't bring them back to their houses. And you want us to vote you in the name of competence. What kind of
it's actually unfortunate because
lack of incompetence to campaign for the next day.
They mentioned Nigeria, actually it happens, and this is because is the election actually credible? Yes. If we're saying that we're going to use our PVC to elect a new leader, because of what we're seeing, we don't want to repeat the old people that are on seats before. Are we sure that these elections are actually credible? Because what people are saying online is that now you can see, so use your PVC, go out to vote and choose the right leaders. But are we sure that we are actually practicing credible election? We've seen what happened in the primaries. We've seen the numbers. We've seen the allegation. We've seen the rigging allegations, let's say. So are we really sure that we can actually just change this with our PVC or even protest?
You see, Zainab, the issue of electoral credibility in Nigeria has been well established from the primaries that elections in Nigeria are not credible. However, due to the recent it's not even a development, due to the recent bad happenings that has been consistent in the country, we Nigerians are now speaking up more than ever. We are speaking up more than ever. We are fighting with everything we can use to fight, which is mostly social media and hashtags and protest, of course.
Is that enough?
It's not enough, but it's all we can do. demanding accountability, protesting. We can't do more than that. And what we can do is we are getting our PVCs, we've gotten our PVCs, and we're getting our PVCs. And we go out on that day and vote.
Yes,
and hopefully
nobody
we
is,
pray.
we are not discouraging people to go out and vote.
Yes.
We are just, trying to, weigh the credibility of these elections. Is it actually going to change anything?
I mean,
But
I
we are
do
not in
hope
the position, to discourage people
not
to
to
go
vote.
and vote. But Nigerians need to do something to assure us that our elections are actually credible.
The INEC, to be precise, they need to show us that yes, our votes actually count. But so far so good. So far so good. Where we are going, hopefully our elections are going to be credible, because a lot of people have gotten their PVCs. A lot of people are speaking out, literally everywhere, speaking out, trying, getting their PVCs. And I hope on that day they all come out to vote, and on that day there will not be any political thuggery.
Thank you. I like your optimism, but let's move to our next headline, and this is on the Blueprint front page. It says Rivers APC governor candidate Chinda resigns as PDP monetary leader. We are talking about the large insecurity in Nigeria. We even have the health issue of cholera spreading gradually from one state to another. And we still have political leaders who are, just pursuing their political interest, moving from one political party to another. Because Chinda did not just resign from PDP, he resigned not because he's a minority leader, but he's moving to APC for Rivers candidate. So why do these people, what is the assurance that we're ever going to get change if we continue like this?
See, Zainab, I think Abubakar has said it a lot, but Nigeria's political party system is very fluid. They just direct it, everybody just directs it according to their own interests.
You never can predict what will happen.
Exactly. Today, I'm in a party. Once I say, this party is going to lose, I move to the next one. What is the case of Chinda? Apparently, Chinda is...
Are you saying that the present party Chinda would actually lose? Is PDP not enough? Because we have...
I'm not saying they're going to lose. I can't predict. And
is it because he's a minority leader? He
was a minority leader in PDP. I mean, if you were holding a party, if you were in a party and you were holding a title as much as the minority leader of the People's Democratic Party, and you want to contest for something else, you have to leave. So he left word... Let me say, in quote, he left probably what he thinks is not going to favor him to where he's going to favor him.
Let me even go back to let me move back to this headline on the Daily Trust, where the federal government mentioned that they deployed 1,000 security guards. It is how we make decisions. The decisions we make don't even meet up with the present situation. Because these children are already kidnapped. This would have been something that would have done to protect the community, because it was said that there were no security whatsoever in that community.
What? In 2014, after the Chibok girls, there were Safe Schools Initiative. But where are the safe school initiatives up till today? We are not prioritizing the education and the safety of our people.
Maybe it actually started, but we have a problem of continuity in Nigeria.
The safe school initiative is only in paper. It is no longer active.
Was it active?
Allegedly, it was supposed to be active, but I didn't find any record of them actually doing something.
So where are we going from here as a nation if we make, we make laws that we don't implement?
If we have something that is supposedly supposed to help schools and protect schools, supposedly, we should actually fund them. Apart from funding them, we should make sure that they're actually implementing the fund you are diverting to them. If NGOs are donating money, government is putting money into it, we should make sure they're actually doing what they're supposed to do. I don't know if you're grabbing. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They are active. Schools have security. States have Safe School Initiative, or your state, Safe School Initiative, Ogun State, and they should be held responsible. They should not just
But Shipra, do you think we actually need security for the school, or go back to the grassroots? Who are these bandits?
We need to go back to the grassroots. But before we reach the grassroots, we need security for our schools. Since 2023 up till now, over 2,531 students have been kidnapped across all segments of school: nursery, primary, secondary, university, and polytechnic.
Not to talk of the torture these children are going through. What is the essence? What is the essence of this torture? Would that prompt the parents to bring out the ransom money?
Parents cannot afford the ransom. An average Nigerian cannot afford 1 million naira. I have to go online, go fund me for them to be able to afford 1 million naira. You hardly scroll on social media nowadays without saying donate, donate, donate. So why do you want them to see 50 million naira as a ransom?
And the people who are supposed to save us at this period, the political leaders, they are focused on election. Most of this, like Chinda, who is contested for APC government, must have paid a nomination fee, and that nomination fee would have gone a long way in actually helping to bring but because we have our priority on things that are actually not important to the less privileged, but probably important to them, we don't, make decisions that help the entire community.
We don't prioritize. The thing with Nigeria is, if it's not happening, if we don't prioritize a particular part, like these kidnappings, if they had prioritized it, it started from the northeast. If they had prioritized it then, and tried their best to curb it. Safe school initiatives, rangers, everything.
Yes, I mentioned that yesterday in one of our conversations that maybe now Nigerians will realize that insecurity is actually a national issue. Yes,
it's not even creepy.
Because at first, people from the west or from the south would have not, put in so much importance.
From the northeast to the west is a lot. Let's even talk about how insecurity, first of all, insecurity is in all parts of the country. We can't even debate that. The west, the north, the east, the southwest, name it, all regions, all states. But it's more pronounced than the other. And the governments are putting more priority. Let me say, the people are prioritizing it over the other. If we had prioritized the northeast, the rangers, the SSI, everything we can do in our power to bring back our children in the northeast that are being kidnapped before they started creeping to schools.
Shukra, I would have loved us to continue this conversation. It is so sad how our federal governments are putting on more attention on things that are less important, just to focus on recreating their wealth or coming back. Okay, that is another conversation for another day. But now we'll be moving on to our next segment. Let's look out for this interesting explainer by Shukra Oniye on human evolution, coming to you after the break.
What if I told you that inside your body, there's a biological connection? Not symbolic, not spiritual, but genetic. That links you directly to a woman who lives over 150,000 to 200,000 years ago in Africa. And yes, it is not a myth and it is not a legend. Rather, a scientific finding in human genetics. Scientists call her mitochondrial Eve.
Welcome back from that break, and this is
Is poverty and unemployment amongst young people one of the drivers behind, banditry and katsina and that kind of stuff? And what it really made me think about is we're talking about young people being susceptible to a particular message, a particular radicalization, or just being susceptible to someone coming along and saying, well, actually, here's a job. You can come and do this. Unfortunately, it involves criminality and banditry, and you might need to believe this. Why wouldn't it be attractive to young people? Yet we've got young people in the Nigerian armed forces whose welfare maybe isn't necessarily first and foremost in politicians and some of their leadership, that they're in exactly the same situation. You're there doing something where maybe people don't have your best interests at heart, and we've got these people in conflict.
That's going on, but I feel it's more of a situation whereby it's an economy, people are benefiting off it. I don't know what anyone would expect from a child that grew up in an ungoverned space for majority of his life. He's probably not even been to the local government headquarters, talk less of his state capital. So these people don't know better. They don't know one from one. And whatever option is given to them, in promise of a better life, is what's taken. And the world is very different. People in different geographies and areas think very differently and approach things very differently. And regardless of standards of life, the good life, and amenities are available to them, they would rather stay true to the latter than, go for the other aspect. So it's just what it is. So we need more government presences in the outskirts of Nigeria in all the dark spots. Like the nation needs light basically, because wherever there's light, there can be darkness. So when there's government presence in all these ungoverned spaces, there are schools, there are hospitals, there are thriving businesses. There is an efficient taxation system whereby people see what their money is being used for. It just changes the decision of whatever youth in whichever location, because you can say the same thing for a youth that is in the Niger Delta bunkering crude oil. There are ungoverned spaces in those places, but everybody's fight is different, but it's all the same situation.
Now, one of the things that first drew me, or the main thing that drew me to your Instagram feed, was an article that you wrote about the Hydra, the multi-headed Hydra, and the 4 different types of conflict that are currently going on in Nigeria. It's easy to say Nigeria is at war. Yes, it is, but then people tend to think Nigeria is at war with Boko Haram in the northeast and the Chad, Lake Chad Basin. Whereas what you described were, lots of other kind of micro conflicts that were going on that a fisted Nigerian military, or the army specifically, is not equipped to deal with. Maybe fighting Boko Haram should be one thing, but should the military be used for any of these other conflicts? So just take me through what the 4 different types of things that were going on in Nigeria you mentioned.
I even feel there are even more than 4, but I had to limit it to just 4. If we look at the Northeast, there's terrorism. If we look at the Northwest, there are elements of terrorism or banditry. And if you come to the Southwest, there's kidnapping, there is armed robbery, there's cultism, and there's also elements of terrorism, because in recent years, we've seen recent attacks by ISWAP, Boko Haram in Oyo, and the rest. So which what happened? And if you come to the Southeast, we have agitators, secessionists. And when it comes to the South, we have economic saboteurs. So they all apply the same methodology, basically, because all the armed groups, all the non-state actors, all kidnap. Is an economy. It's a way to finance their operations. But not all of them are armed robbers. Not all of them tax, like ISWAP and Lakurawa in the Northwest. So it needs to be approached very differently. But the problem is now these groups are becoming more heavily armed, and you need to approach them more heavy-handedly? Should we?
So they're harder to deal with because they're more heavily armed and more sophisticated in many cases with weaponry and drones than
terrain.
The people that are going to the armed forces.
You know, terrain also plays a factor. You being a soldier, probably you trained somewhere else and you're moving to a region you really don't know the terrain, you don't know the people, you really don't know left to right. It's going to be easy for these people to gather information, track your movements, even lay ambushes. But at the same time, it's not all problems that has to be met militarily, but it's a useful instrument because of criminality too high to pay, it becomes not profitable. Because if you know that, okay, if I kidnap people, get bombed by the Air Force, regardless, it doesn't make it profitable. Do you understand? So
the level of deterrence should impact the proliferation of certain things.
Yeah, so violence escalation should be determined by the states and not by the groups, because now the net's been casted wide. Anybody is fair game for them. They would pick up anyone. They would attack any schools. When it comes to Nigerian schools, a different methodology needs to be applied to them in terms of security. It has to be a different outfit entirely. You know, we can't have policemen protecting every federal and state school, but an arrangement needs to be made, whether within the people in the communities. We need to know how many federal schools do we have in the whole country, how many state schools are there, where are their locations, how many security people are manning and protecting these points. You know, we also have to invest in infrastructure, you know, because road networks matter. Because if you have to travel 5 kilometers to respond to an emergency, and it's going to take you probably 10 minutes because of bad roads or bad terrain, it's probably going to take you 5-10 hours.
And people know that, don't they? Local people know that's how long it's going to take
exactly
to get there.
So that's just how it needs to be approached.
Hello and welcome to Security Update on S24 Television. My name is Gloria Atta, and here are the top security stories making the headlines. The Nigerian military has recorded a major success in the fight against insurgency in the northeast. Precision airstrikes carried out by Operation Hadinkai in the Lake Chad region on May 31 neutralized more than 50 terrorists, including senior commanders identified as Khalifa Umar, Abdullah, and Abdul Jalil. Military sources say the strikes also destroyed terrorist logistics hubs and supply depots, further weakening insurgent operations across the Lake Chad Basin. Meanwhile, troops have arrested 2 suspected terrorist collaborators in separate operations in Borno State. One suspect was intercepted in Kukawa after reportedly being tracked by a military drone and allegedly admitted receiving money from terrorists to purchase supplies. In a separate operation in Benishik, troops arrested a suspected logistics supplier found with a vehicle and 30 liters of petrol. Authorities say both suspects are in custody as investigations continue. In Yobe State, police have uncovered an illegal firearms fabrication workshop in Potiskum and arrested 7 suspected gunmakers. This was contained in a statement issued on Tuesday by the police public relations officer, SP Dungus Abdul Karim. Similarly, in Akwa Ibom State, police raided suspected gun fabrication and repair centers in Okobo and Eket, arresting 2 suspects and recovering several locally made and imported firearms, ammunition components, fabrication equipment, and other tools used in weapon production. The suspects remain in custody while investigators work to identify collaborators and buyers. And finally, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps has arrested 39 persons during a raid on an organization accused of operating an illegal paramilitary-style training camp. The group, identified as Uniquely Network Rescue Services, allegedly recruited youths and subjected them to unauthorized training using wooden guns. NSCDC officials say investigations are underway to determine the group's true objectives and possible security implications ahead of the 2027 general elections. And that's all we can take today on our security update. As security agencies sustain pressure on terrorist networks, armed traffickers, and other criminal elements, always remember that security is everyone's business. If you see something, say something, and trust them to do something. Many thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Hello and welcome to Tech World Update, where we discuss technology, innovation, and digital world. I am Aisha Muhammad. Here's what's shaping ICT from Nigeria to the global stage. We begin in Nigeria, where concerns are growing over the impact of technology infrastructure on the cost of doing business. Industry experts say persistent ICT challenges within Nigeria's custom clearance system are contributing to delays at the nation's port. According to stakeholders, frequent system downtime and weak digital infrastructure are slowing cargo processing, increasing operational costs, and ultimately pushing prices higher for consumers. Still in Nigeria, despite these challenges, the IT sector continues to demonstrate remarkable resilience and growth. Fresh figures from the National Bureau of Statistics shows that Nigeria's information and communication sector expanded by nearly 11% year-on-year in the first quarter of 2026. The performance marks an impressive 33 consecutive quarters of growth, reinforcing the sector position as one of the strongest drivers of the nation's economy. And as digital infrastructure continues to support economic growth, technology is also playing a larger role in the public safety and emergency management. Vice President Kashim Shettima has commended Starlink for donating emergency communication equipment to the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. Officials say the equipment will strengthen disaster response efforts by improving communication capability during emergencies and humanitarian operations. And that's it on Tech World Updates, where innovation meets impact, technology drives transformation, and the future focus. Do stay with us, as after the break is Entertainment Update News with Karima Hassan. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.
Hello and welcome to your entertainment update on S24 Rundown. I am Karima Hassan. Here are the top stories making headlines today. Our first story takes us to the world of reality television as anticipation continues to build ahead of the Big Brother Nigeria reunion show. Fans of the popular reality TV franchise are counting down to the premiere of the reunion, where former housemates will come face to face once again to address unresolved issues, revisit memorable moments, and shed light on what really happened behind the scenes. The reunion is expected to feature emotional conversations, surprising revelations, and of course, the drama that has made the show a fan favorite over the years. Social media has already been buzzing with speculations about which housemates will clash and which friendship may be restored. Viewers can expect an exciting season as old wounds are reopened and long-standing questions finally get answered. Moving on to Nollywood. The Nigerian movie industry is mourning the loss of the popular Yoruba actor Okiki Adeshina, fondly known by fans as Jamole. The actor reportedly died following a tragic car accident, sending shockwaves through the entertainment community. Colleagues, friends, and fans have taken to social media to pay tribute to the late actor, describing him as talented, hardworking, and passionate about his craft. His contributions to Yoruba cinema earned him admiration from audiences across the country. As tribute continues to pour in, many have expressed sadness over the loss of a promising talent whose impact on Nollywood will never be forgotten. Away from the Nigerian entertainment scene, we head to the United Kingdom, where one of the world's most celebrated actors is receiving recognition not just for his works on screen, but also for his impact on society and youth development. Award-winning British actor Idris Elba has officially been knighted by King Charles III in recognition of his contribution to society and his efforts in supporting young people. The ceremony took place at Windsor Castle, where the actor received prestigious honor after years of advocacy work, particularly in campaigns aimed at reducing knife crime and creating opportunities for young people. Best known for his roles in Luther, The Wire, and several Hollywood blockbuster films, Elba described the recognition as tremendous honor. With the award, he can now be formally addressed as Sir Idris Elba, marking yet another milestone in his remarkable career. And that's all on entertainment updates for today. Up next is sport updates. Thanks. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to another exciting day in the world of sports. A new chapter awaits Denzel Dumfries in Spain. Nigerian taekwondo stars are celebrating gold on the continental stage, and the race to represent Nigeria at the Commonwealth Games is officially underway. I am Martha Onedu, and here are your latest sports updates for today. First, the signing of Dutch right-back Denzel Dumfries from Inter Milan. Reports, including transfer expert Fabrizio Romano, have agreed a deal to trigger the defender's reported €20 million release clause. Dumfries have also agreed personal terms with the club, with formalities expected to be completed soon. The move is seen as a major addition to Real Madrid's squad as they continue preparations for the new season. Moving on to Taekwondo, Team Nigeria delivered an impressive performance at the African Taekwondo Championships in Bamako, Mali. The Nigerian contingent claimed 3 gold medals, furthering underlining the country's growing strength in the sports. The achievement adds to Nigerians' recent successes on the continental stage and provides a significant boost ahead of Africa's future international competitions. And finally, the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, AFN, has announced qualification standards for athletes hoping to represent the country at the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland. The federation says all prospective athletes must participate in the national trials scheduled to take place later in Lagos this month. The move is expected and aimed at ensuring that only the best performing athletes in sports on Team Nigeria for the Games. That'll be all on your sports updates for today. Up next is PG News after the break.
I welcome una to the Tori Corner on top S24 television, where Nigeria matter no dey finish for our table. Our number one story today na Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN), wey don tell all Christians say make they start 3 days national mourning from June 12 to June 14, 2026. This decision happened for one big meeting which leaders do for Abuja. The leaders talk say the way bad people they kill, kidnap, and scatter communities across Nigeria, they don't too much. CAN also talk say that June 14 could be Black Sunday for all churches inside the country to take honor those who don't die for inside violence and to console their family. I'm ready to talk for National Assembly on Democracy Day. June 12 will be Democracy Day. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will address the joint session of the National Assembly. This one day among the many programs where federal government don't arrange to take celebrate Nigeria's 2026 Democracy Day. Government don't set up one special committee to clear road for the celebration. Other things with them go one do now special Jumat prayers and church service, word press conference, special talk where Oyibo they call public lecture, programs for youth and women, presidential broadcast and gala night. All of this to celebrate that day. And for inside Abuja, Keke and Pep riders don't promise to code with police to stop one chance. Commercial Keke operators don't promise say they will work join body with police and other security agents to stop one chance robbery. The Keke riders talk say some bad elements they pretend to be genuine drivers, and this one they spoil their business name while they put passengers for danger. To stop this nonsense, the operators talk say they point out suspicious riders, share coded information with police, and help protect passengers from thieves. And on top health matter, 274 people don't catch cholera for Borno State. 274 new suspected cases of cholera inside just 24 and 39 people. The incident manager for the Health Emergency Center, where he named Dr. Jacob, he talks say the new cases show face for 36 wards, and places like Meduguri, Jere, and Konduga, and them get high numbers. Borno State government talks say they do everything to stop the sickness, as they share free drugs, can't teach people how to clean their environment. And on top education matter, the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnic, ASUP for Federal Poly Ngodo, Isuache, Abia State, don't give the school management 21 days ultimatum over staff welfare. Inside the letter where they sent to the rector, Dr. Ndubisi, the union talks say if management no fix their problems after 21 days, they go start strike. The lecturers they vex, they vex, say they no register them for National Housing Fund and health insurance. And they get alleged uruwuru for borehole project money wey been dey grant. They say no drugs for the school clinic, and management don't refuse to release union money, what they call check-off deals, since February 2026. If we carry I go Obodo Ibo, we go see say for Kuwait. Kuwait's government don't stop all commercial flights after one missile and drone attack from Iran hit their international airports. Authorities talk say the bomb hit Terminal 1, scatter some parts, and some people wound. Because of this, aviation officials block all flights, contain airplanes where they come, say may they go land for another country, while emergency workers will declare the damages for now. Make people waka they security conscious, look out for one another. Remember, say Naija wahala. Now all of us you touch, whether you be Igbo, you be Hausa or Yoruba. Until we jam again, my name na Sedika Yusuf. Welcome back, and thank you so much, Siddiqa, for that version of the news. Apologies for the absence of our explainer and political arena due to some technical issues. With these, we've come to the end of S24 News Rundown. Do join us tomorrow, same time, and follow us on all our social media platforms at S24 Television. My name is Zainab Ibrahim. Do have a lovely day.